Well, of course, last night at SummerSlam, Samoa Joe had Cesaro locked in the coquina clutch. Triple H came down to ringside and said that Samoa Joe's shoulders were on the mat before Cesaro passed out. But as you can see by these screenshots, I mean, Samoa Joe, his left shoulder is very clearly off the canvas. So Triple H's decision, I mean, it was incorrect. Oh, wait a minute. Well, that's not the only bit of controversy coming out of SummerSlam last night. Because not only was the World Heavyweight Championship matchup overturned, but we also saw the appearance of the Demon. Samoa Joe was laid out by Finn Balor last night at SummerSlam, and now it appears as though the Demon has come for the World Champion. And again, out of the shadows, the Demon strikes as he takes down Cesaro. Finn Balor lays out the World Heavyweight Champion just like he laid out Samoa Joe last night. In Brooklyn, New York, Samoa Joe taken out by Balor, and now it is clear. If you had any doubts, we now know that Finn Balor is setting his sights on the World Heavyweight Championship. Coup de grace delivered. Let's get this show started. What's up, YouTube? This is MathWiz97, and welcome to Monday Night Raw, the first episode of Raw following the SummerSlam pay-per-view, and we are coming to you live from Tampa, Florida. This edition of Monday Night Raw is going to be big because we are kickstarting the King of the Ring tournament. The third annual King of the Ring tournament begins right here, right now, with Apollo Cruz. Yes, the long-awaited Raw debut of Apollo Cruz. He's certainly talked a big game since arriving here from SmackDown. But tonight, we get to see him compete in the ring for the first time on the red brand. We will see if he can back up what he has said. He's certainly talked the talk. We will see tonight if he can, in fact, walk the walk. But we are off to a... Well, we're not pulling any punches starting off this edition of Raw. I mean, we just saw moments ago Finn Balor, the Demon, laid out the World Heavyweight Champion Cesaro. So, Cesaro, he seems to believe that Samoa Joe deserves a rematch for the title, and rightfully so. Samoa Joe was screwed out of the title last night at SummerSlam by the game Triple H. But, now, we can also see that Finn Balor is looking to make his... Well, he's looking to stake his claim for the title. So, the situation only continues to get more and more complicated as things progress here. But of course tonight, perhaps we will be able to get some sort of an answer regarding this whole situation, because we will see the first appearance of the new Raw General Manager. Who is this mysterious General Manager that Triple H recently, I guess, signed to the position? We're going to find out who it is later on tonight. But we do know that he or she, whoever they may be, they are in the building tonight, and they will make an official address to the WWE Universe. And maybe, just maybe, we'll get some sort of an answer regarding this whole World Heavyweight Championship picture, among a few other questions that we have to deal with in the fallout of SummerSlam. But of course, the King of the Ring tournament begins tonight. Last year, we had it all at one event, one big show. This time, though, the King of the Ring matchups will be starting off on episodes of Raw and SmackDown. And it'll be taking place over the next several months, basically. I mean, we're only really just getting into the qualifying matchups right now 32 men will compete to qualify. Only 16 will enter the King of the Ring tournament. 8 from Raw, 8 from SmackDown. So let's find out who's going to get the first spot. Will it be Sheamus, the Celtic Warrior, the former 3-time World Heavyweight Champion? Or will it be the up-and-coming Apollo Crews? You can hear the crowd already getting into this matchup. The crowd chanting at Sheamus. Oh! Apollo Crews with a knee straight to the back. Oh, but what a jab there by Sheamus. Apollo Crews tried to catch him with a forearm, but Sheamus caught him first. And stomping a mud hole in the chest of Cruz. As Cruz crawls to the outside, trying to get a moment's... Oh, nope, not going to get a moment to rest, but Cruz able to counter with a strike of his own. And here goes Apollo Crews. Crossbody off the top rope. Sheamus is pinned on the canvas. 2. And no, we almost had a quick victory there for Apollo Crews, but not quite going to get it just yet. As Cruz now drives the knee into Sheamus there. Later on tonight, I mean, we've got a stacked show for you this evening, because not only are we going to be seeing the Raw General Manager make their first appearance, but as well as that, we will be seeing another King of the Ring matchup. That one will be featuring the returning Viper, Randy Orton. And you know, whenever Randy Orton sets foot in a WWE ring, well, he means business. Business is going to pick up. That'll be your main event later on this evening. Randy Orton going up against an unknown competitor. I do not have a name listed on my lineup sheet. And of course, one thing to always consider, especially that we got this King of the Ring tournament going on, the new Superstar Initiative is still in effect, so we could see superstars who aren't even contracted under the WWE showing up in this very tournament. So, I mean, there's going to be a lot riding on this year's King of the Ring tournament. I have a feeling it's going to be the biggest one yet. I mean, in the past 2 years, we've seen Mark Henry win the tournament. He won the very first King of the Ring tournament, went on to become the World Heavyweight Champion. And last year's winner, Titus O'Neil, he didn't win the title, but he did get involved in a triple threat in the main event of Survivor Series against the likes of Brock Lesnar and the current WWE Champion, Kevin Owens. So, you know, even though Titus O'Neil was unable to capture the title with his King of the Ring victory, he nevertheless, I mean, certainly elevated his status. I mean, a victory in the King of the Ring tournament, it gets you the main event of Survivor Series, gets you a guaranteed championship opportunity. So there's a lot riding on a tournament like this. You got to go out there and perform at 110%, maybe even higher than that. Because right now, Apollo Crews was in control, but Sheamus able to turn things around. Oh! And look at Sheamus with the vicious knees. There's the mean streak we know that the former World Heavyweight Champion can possess. He's got to tap in to the same kind of energy, the same kind of momentum that he was able to build for himself when he was the World Heavyweight Champion 2 years ago. As Sheamus now, just trying to cave in the chest of Apollo Crews, then punched him right in the side of the head. Trying to fire up the crowd as well. The crowd, not a big fan of Apollo Crews, but Sheamus has slowly started to regain the adulation of the crowd. As Sheamus now with got the running start, took him down to the STO. Apollo Crews again. Rolls out to the apron, trying to create distance. Separate himself from Sheamus, but oh no! He's caught again! He's caught again! And Sheamus once again looking to just cave Apollo Crews' chest in as he continues to hammer away vicious strikes. Could break the ribs of Apollo Crews as he crashes out to the floor. Sheamus now, oh my god. Sheamus not holding anything back. He knows what's on the line in a matchup like this. Sheamus from the top rope to the floor. No! He went for a risk, but he crashed and burned, and now Apollo Crews whips him into the steel steps. Apollo Crews. That could be the difference maker in this matchup as he delivers the elbow to the back of the head. Sheamus goes over the barricade. Sheamus over the barricade out into the crowd now. These two men have spilled out into the crowd. The referee's at a count of 4. Count of 4 as these two men now going to war in the crowd. Well, of course, if this matchup ends in a double countout, I don't know what that's going to mean for the King of the Ring tournament. But right now, at a count of 7, Apollo Crews dumped back over the barricade. Count of 8 now as Apollo Crews and Sheamus trying to scramble to get back into the ring. They both make it back in time before the 10 count. As Apollo Crews misses. Oh no! Oh no! Cruz missed with a punch. Cruz missed with a punch. And Sheamus, high cross powerbomb. Massive move by Sheamus. He might have just put Apollo Cruz down for the count. Sheamus hook of the leg. Referee in a position. 1, 2. No! Cruz barely stays alive, peeling the shoulder off the canvas at the tightest of 2.9s. And now it's Sheamus in disbelief as he once again delivers the vicious knees to the ribs of Apollo Cruz. This would be a huge, it's a huge opportunity for both men, but Sheamus, if he wants to get back into the world title picture, perhaps become a 4-time world heavyweight champion, this would be his golden opportunity to turn his career around. Apollo Cruz, of course, for him tonight, it's about going out there and proving, backing up what he has said before. As now Apollo Cruz turning things around after bringing Sheamus back into the ring. A couple of clotheslines. Cruz splash in the corner. But now with the full out of steam, ducks underneath, Sheamus off the ropes, and another clothesline, and a kip up by Apollo Cruz. Look at the athleticism. Apollo Cruz is one hell of a talent. You do not want to count this man. Oh, do not count him out. But we might have to count Sheamus out. He just got his bell rung by a vicious enziguri by Apollo Cruz, and now Apollo Cruz could be looking to go for the finish. He's got Sheamus up on his shoulders. Here we go. Cruz control. And into the pin. 1, 2, 3. There you have it, folks. There is your winner, Apollo Cruz, the first man to qualify for the 16-man King of the Ring tournament. Put up a heck of a fight against Sheamus here tonight. And definitely an impressive Raw debut for Apollo Cruz. That's the kind of performance he needed. But for all the talk he has talked, for how much he's hyped himself up, he's gonna need to win more than just this matchup to really prove that he belongs here. And Apollo Cruz, he says that he's gonna become the King of the Ring. He says he's gonna win the whole thing. And so far, he's on the right track. Picks up the win over Sheamus tonight, defeats a former World Heavyweight Champion, and from here on out, Apollo Cruz looking to go nowhere but up. We'll see if he can back that up, though. We'll see if he has what it takes to become the third King of the Ring. It worked for Titus, worked for Mark Henry. They certainly elevated themselves. Apollo Cruz looking to do the same. Backstage there are Bo Dallas and Heath Slater, the Outcasts. What's going on in the locker room? Well, there's the leader, Curtis Axel, and the former United States champion, Sin Cara. And Curtis Axel does not seem to be too happy about Sin Cara's loss at SummerSlam. Well, it appears as though there's perhaps a bit of dissension within the Outcasts, and rightfully so. Not a very successful night at SummerSlam. Wait, No Way Jose's found a new party animal for Fandango, but has the search finally ended? Who is it? Oh my god. That's the man-beast Rhino. Well, what a pairing this is. Well, this is a really interesting pairing to say the least. No Way Jose, Fandango, and Rhino all seem to be on the same page. That's a unique alliance to say the least. And on top of that, we got some news from the Outcasts. On top of there seeming to be a little bit of dissension after Sin Cara's loss last night at SummerSlam. It appears as though Axel wants Sin Cara to step away from the US title for a bit. He wants him to cool his head and focus on the King of the Ring tournament, because that is where Curtis Axel, I mean, much like Apollo Cruz and really anyone else who's trying to qualify for this tournament, Curtis Axel says that he wants the world title. He wants greatness for the Outcasts, lasting success. But we'll get to that we'll get to that in due time. But right now, the Outcasts, or I should say the club, they're looking to call out the Outcasts. They said earlier today that they want to fight. I mean, they're not just out here. I mean, they are pissed that they lost at SummerSlam. I mean, they let their ego get the better of them. They got rolled up by Heath Slater, and they want to fight. They want to get a rematch against the Outcasts, so they're out here they don't have any words to say. They just want to get down and dirty. They just want to fight. They want to beat the ever-living hell out of the tag team champions. Wait a minute! Well, that's definitely not the tag team champions. You have got to be kidding me! There's no way! The club, Gallows and Anderson, they're looking for the Outcast, but instead, they're gonna get the Hardy Boys. Truly an icon in tag team wrestling, the Hardy Boys. They're here on Monday Night Raw. The Hardy Boys making their first appearance in Universe Mode, and they are coming down to the ring to get themselves a piece of Gallows and Anderson. Gallows and Anderson still look ready to fight. The Hardy Boys are ready to fight. You gotta be kidding me. The Hardy Boys arrived to Monday Night Raw, and now they're going toe-to-toe with Gallows and Anderson. Carl Anderson lays out Jeff Hardy, Gallows, and Matt Hardy, duking it out over here by the ring. This is insane. This is insanity. The club, they wanted a piece of the Outcasts. Instead, they're going up against tag team legends, the Hardy Boys. Well, we know that Gallows and Anderson, they're responsible for retiring the Dudley Boys. They're responsible for retiring Edge and Christian. And I guess if you want the final, the final group of the trilogy, the final third, three teams who are responsible for that iconic triangle ladder match, the tag team TLC. I mean, these teams, the Hardy Boys, the Dudleys, Edge and Christian, they really completely redefined tag team wrestling. And now it appears as though the Hardy Boys, well, they are looking to perhaps get some redemption for the Dudleys and Edge and Christian, their former rivals, former friends. And certainly those three teams have been through a lot together. And it seems as though now Matt and Jeff looking to take out some aggression on Gallows and Anderson. But right now, Luke Gallows, Matt Hardy strikes back though. Hardy and Gallows trading blows. Meanwhile, look out, Carl Anderson just got whipped off the stage. And Jeff Hardy's looking to fly. We know Jeff Hardy's a risk taker, a daredevil. The charismatic Enigma takes out Carl Anderson, flies off the stage. This is crazy! Well, summer may have come and gone, but things only continue to heat up here in the WWE. As next week the King of the Ring tournament will continue, we will be seeing the likes of Curtis Axel and Baron Corbin both attempt to qualify for the King of the Ring tournament in 2 respective matchups. And not only that, but we will also see a handicap match between Nikki Cross and the Bella Twins. We saw Nikki Cross decimate Brie Bella a couple of weeks ago before Nikki Bella came out to the rescue. So now Nikki Cross has said that she wants to take on both Bellas at once. That'll be happening next week on Monday Night Raw, so stick around for that. It's going to be surely another red hot show, just as this one has been. You don't want to miss it. Well, we move on from that hellacious display. I mean, the Hardy Boys are back. The Hardy Boys are here on Monday Night Raw. They just took out Gallows and Anderson. I mean, security had to escort all 4 men out of the building. Oh my god. But the show must go on. The chaos never stops, because right now we are getting, well, hopefully looking to restore a little bit of order, because we take things back to the ring for some, a scheduled matchup this evening. As here he is, the Viper, Randy Orton, returning to Monday Night Raw. We have not seen Randy Orton compete in a WWE ring since he was defeated by the Demon Finn Balor at Battleground. That was a couple of months ago. Randy Orton has been on the sidelines, recuperating, licking his wounds, so to speak, but now the Viper is back. And he is looking to right the trajectory of his career at present. I mean, slowly but surely, Randy Orton has been going downhill. I mean, you hate to say it, for a veteran of the industry, someone who has really been a trailblazer since arriving to the WWE. He has won many championships. He's been a force to be reckoned with. But lately, Randy Orton, he's been getting surpassed by the next generation of WWE talent. He's tried to deny it. He's tried to, quote-unquote, kill these rookies, go out and target the people who are newer to the WWE than him, guys like Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, Finn Balor. Randy Orton tried to put them all away, and he failed every single time. But tonight, he looks to try to reinstate his place on Raw in the WWE by going in and having a tremendous display in the King of the Ring tournament. But tonight, wait, no way. Oh my God! He's back! He's back, ladies and gentlemen! The Scotsman is back here on Monday Night Raw, Drew McIntyre! Well, taking full advantage of the new Superstar Initiative is Drew McIntyre. We haven't seen McIntyre in over a year, if not a year and a half, 2 years. It has been quite a long time since we last saw Drew McIntyre as a part of 3MB, but this is not the same Drew McIntyre. I mean, just look at this man. Clearly, in his time away from the WWE, he has been busting his ass to get back to this. I mean, just look at him. He's huge. This is not the same, this is not the same goofball we saw in 3MB. This is a completely different side of Drew McIntyre. And Randy Orton, well, I mean, that'll be one hell of a test for Drew McIntyre tonight. A trial by fire, if you will. If McIntyre, I mean, would certainly be a huge step up from what we last saw from McIntyre all those years ago. If he has what it takes to be a big shot here in the WWE, I mean, if he can defeat Randy Orton, he'll certainly make one hell of a case for himself. Taking down a former world champion in the Viper. I mean, this is going to be a clash for the ages. And it's your main event of Monday Night Raw. Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre. I mean, this has been a crazy show. We see the Raw debut of Apollo Cruz. We've got the new general manager making his first appearance later on this evening. We have the return of the Hardy Boys. And now the return of Drew McIntyre. You can see Randy Orton and McIntyre just seeming to kind of gauge the crowd here a little bit. The crowd was certainly hyped for the return of Randy Orton. They gave him a standing ovation, but And now that Drew McIntyre is here, we will see how this plays out. Oh, as Randy with a nice counter delivers the knee to the midsection of Drew McIntyre, but McIntyre strikes back. And now Drew McIntyre, knife edge chop. Did you hear it? That knife edge chop echoed throughout this arena. Vicious uppercut though by Randy Orton. Randy Orton with the punches to the face. We're getting down and dirty here. It's a brawl. Starting off this matchup as Randy Orton now just dragging McIntyre's face across the top rope. Takes him down, swinging neckbreaker. Of course, as I said, Randy Orton, last time we saw him compete, he was defeated by Finn Balor, so Randy trying to bounce back here tonight. But I have a feeling he's going to have his work more than cut out for him when he's going up against Drew McIntyre. And McIntyre certainly is going to be coming into this matchup with a chip on his shoulder. As I said, formerly of 3MB, he was a little more than a comedy act here in the WWE. But McIntyre, he doesn't want to, he wants to create a new legacy for himself. He said that he got complacent the last time he was in this company. This time, McIntyre, he's not out to be a comedy act. He's not out to just take what's given to him. He's out to take his own opportunities. As again, knife edge chop delivered. And just look at McIntyre. Look at Drew McIntyre just hammering away on Randy Orton in the corner. Now a vicious stomp. McIntyre, certainly, this is a vicious streak we haven't seen from him in the past. I mean, Randy Orton seems to be a little caught off guard at present. We know how Randy Orton tends to get overconfident in these, going up against opponents like these. But Randy Orton now with the Thez press, I think he's starting to regain his composure a bit. I think Randy's starting to understand that this is not the same Drew McIntyre he's familiar with. This is a totally different Drew McIntyre. There's now Randy Orton in the corner. The crowd counting him out. There's Randy punch after punch to the face of McIntyre, but no. McIntyre shrugs him off. Oh, what a... Jesus! Did you hear that knife edge chop? And another one. McIntyre just about trying to cave Orton's chest in. And a third one. McIntyre is just going out there. This is an absolute slugfest. Randy Orton got to be getting the wind knocked out of him. And another knife edge chop. And nope, that punch was blocked. I mean, Randy Orton, well, looks like Randy's going to change tactics. As I said, this matchup starting off as a brawl, a slugfest. But I think Randy's starting to realize that he can't trade punches with Drew McIntyre like that. He can't trade strikes because McIntyre, he's going to win that battle any day of the week. So Randy's going to have to change his approach. Got to go back to that slower, more vindictive pace, more methodical. That's how Randy Orton excels anyway. So he wants to try to avoid McIntyre. Oh! McIntyre with the counter, though. Randy Orton, he doesn't want to wrestle a Drew McIntyre style of match. He wants to wrestle a Randy Orton style of match. Because again, McIntyre, the knife edge chops. And again, Orton goes down. I mean, Randy Orton, his chest, he's got but if this keeps up, he's going to have welts by the end of this night. And Randy, he's going to be feeling those chops for the next week. As McIntyre just tossed him around like a rag doll with that belly-to-belly suplex. Oh, and he's going to do it again. McIntyre again. Just look at the distance on that belly-to-belly. I mean, Drew McIntyre, he's a monster out there. And I mean, the crowd is definitely getting behind him. And again, you just hear these knife edge chops echo throughout this arena here in Tampa, Florida. I mean, McIntyre is a man possessed, but Randy Orton has to try to stay in there. He's got to try to hang in this thing. As he took McIntyre down off the ropes with a neck breaker. He's now Randy Orton. Oh, Randy Orton called him to his feet. And now we're going to see some vintage Randy Orton, one of his signature moves, Spike DDT. And that'll stop McIntyre dead in his tracks. As Randy now, hook of the leg. 1, 2. No, but McIntyre stays alive. He will live to fight for at least another few moments. As Randy Orton now takes him down with an Olympic slam. Brilliantly executed by Randy Orton. Certainly a high impact move like that will I mean, a move like that will certainly keep McIntyre at bay. He goes for the RKO, but McIntyre able to block it. Then takes him down with another belly-to-belly suplex. Randy Orton going to roll to the outside. Randy Orton looking to take a moment to catch his breath, but Drew McIntyre is not going to give him that moment as he connects with the axe handle off the apron. Randy Orton is in a world of trouble. Drew McIntyre has got him dazed. And now Orton gonna get whipped into the barricade. Randy Orton at the mercy of Drew McIntyre, who just rams him with a Uranagi slam off the edge of that barrier. Now whips him straight into the steel stairs. As the referee continues his count, Drew McIntyre, however, gonna roll into the ring and break the count, because he's not done with Randy Orton just yet. As now Orton, I mean, just look at McIntyre. McIntyre just carrying Randy Orton around with ease, as now lifts him up to his shoulder and bounces him head first off the stairs. Referee up to a count of 4, and again Randy whipped into the stairs. McIntyre is ruthless, relentless. McIntyre. Now look at this, count of 6. McIntyre saying, "Come on, Randy. Come on, rookie killer. Is that the best you can do?" The ref is up to a count of 7. It looks like McIntyre, though, he's not gonna be content with just taking the count out. He's not done with Randy. I mean, this is the return match for Drew McIntyre. Got a hell of a statement to prove. But Randy Orton able to turn things around. Randy Orton, he doesn't want to become just an object that McIntyre can use to make a statement. Randy Orton, he wants to be the one to make the statement. He wants to be the one to pick up the victory and qualify for the King of the Ring tournament. The winner of this matchup will face Apollo Cruz in the first round. So Apollo Cruz, definitely got to be watching this one closely in the back. Let's look at this. Randy Orton firing it up. Vintage Randy Orton, the comeback is on. And now, Randy Orton, like the viper that he is, just slithering, just vindictively picking apart McIntyre piece by piece. And now Randy Orton delivers the knee to the face. It may not be pretty, but it is definitely effective, as Randy Orton now, again, pops back up into the corner, just eyeing his prey, just waiting for the moment to strike. Oh, look at this. McIntyre trying to crawl to the ropes, trying to get to his feet. Randy Orton not letting him do that. As again, every time McIntyre tries to get to his feet, Randy just knocks him back down to the canvas, and now Randy's looking to go for the kill. He tried it once, and he failed. He goes for it again, and no, it's countered again. The RKO gets blocked, and now look at McIntyre. McIntyre! Future Shock DDT! Future Shock DDT! It's over! McIntyre gets the win, no! Randy Orton kicks out at 2.9. And Drew McIntyre. Well, McIntyre, no. Well, it looks like McIntyre's got another trick up his sleeve. To the corner he goes, and there's a Claymore. Claymore kick to the skull. Randy's out. Randy is out like a light. Drew McIntyre picks up a major victory. So not only does Drew McIntyre get the win in his Raw return, he not only qualifies for the King of the Ring tournament, he'll go on to face Apollo Cruz in the first round, but on top of all of that, as part of the new Superstar Initiative, Drew McIntyre has just secured himself a contract on Monday Night Raw. What a performance by McIntyre. Truly a breakout moment for him, as he, I mean, you want to talk about making a massive statement. He went out there and he defeated the former world champion Randy Orton. You don't get much of a bigger return than that. Drew McIntyre. He's a force to be reckoned with. He's a man on a mission. Perhaps we could be looking at the next World Heavyweight Champion in the making in Drew McIntyre. Randy Orton couldn't stop him. I don't know if anybody can. Well, now backstage, it's Stephanie McMahon. Oh, that's just terrible. I mean, surely Nia Jax is going to get some type of punishment for that, right? I mean, Asuka, she defeated Nia Jax fair and square, and then Nia Jax attacked her after the match. Now she can't even defend her title? What? You've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. So the woman who injured Asuka, who forced her to vacate the women's championship, is now next in line in this fatal four-way. This is ridiculous. Well, you know, as things always go, the show must go on. We got to move on. The Raw General Manager making his first appearance. No way. It's the former World Heavyweight Champion, Dolph Ziggler. We haven't seen Dolph Ziggler since he was defeated by Cesaro at WrestleMania. Well, we know that Dolph Ziggler underwent severe neck surgery. I mean, he had a tremendous neck injury that he was wrestling with at WrestleMania. He underwent surgery. I mean, it was believed by some that Ziggler... Well, some people thought that perhaps Dolph Ziggler would never return. And now you're telling me that he's the new Raw General Manager? Well, what does this mean for the future of Dolph Ziggler's career? And what does this mean for the future of Monday Night Raw? Well, a lot of questions that need to be answered here, and I assume that Dolph Ziggler is about to give us those answers. Wow. Oh, no. No, not this again. This already happened at the top of the show, but apparently the demon lurking in the shadows is not done. Well, welcome to Monday Night Raw, or welcome back, Dolph Ziggler. Welcome to your position as Raw General Manager. And right out of the gate, Dolph Ziggler has a full plate, to say the least. There he is. There he is, staring across from the Raw General Manager. Dolph Ziggler finds himself face to face with a demon. Finn Balor, well, what does he want with the Raw General Manager? We saw him lay out Samoa Joe at SummerSlam. We saw him lay out the World Champion Cesaro at the top of the show. Don't tell me he's going to put his hands on the Raw GM. I mean, Dolph Ziggler's already got a neck injury. He can't even compete. I mean, this is dangerous. Well, what a blockbuster announcement that is. So next week, in the main event, Finn Balor will go one-on-one with Samoa Joe. And if Balor can defeat Joe, he will qualify for the World Championship match, and it'll become a triple threat. Well, what an announcement by Dolph Ziggler as Finn Balor. The lights go out. And Finn Balor once again disappears as quickly as he entered. Well, Dolph Ziggler clearly has made one hell of a first night, first impact here as the Raw GM, and he's not going to back down from anybody. Well, we are out of time. Thank you for joining me. I'll catch you in the next one.